This morning I finished off reading the business book that I got from Two Brain Business, and it was all about kind of, the gym handbook and how to just like improve your gym and all these different aspects. But one of the things interesting today, at the end of the book, it was talking about your gym 2.0. And I'm obviously in the process of buying a new gym and wrapping up my old one. But in terms of that exercise and looking at things, what I did, what I have been doing, and what I could be doing better, doing that process really is important, because I've realized that, going over all these things that I've learned now and knew about with this book and running a business and gym stuff specifically, there's just so many things I realized that I was just doing wrong, or I just didn't really know how to do it, or if I did know how to do it, how long it would actually take to implement those changes. So, if I look back at my current gym and what I was doing that probably wasn't great, there's no set prices for everyone. The prices aren't clear. If someone wanted this service and they didn't want that, or they wanted this and something else, I didn't have something written down like, yep, this is our pricing guide, here's the prices, Didn't have that clear. I was offering too many discounts to people rather than charging the full amount. And then just taking them on no matter what. They probably weren't even the right client if they wanted that much of a discount and weren't willing to pay for what they needed. I wasn't doing a proper prescription of what they needed and then aligning my services to what they needed as well. If they needed a workout program and they needed nutrition and they needed accountability coaching, I can do that, but only if they did like a massive challenge, which they didn't really want to sign up for. Just so many things like that. I didn't have all these things in place that were clear. What are some other examples? A massive thing is the whole systemizing the business. Systemizing the business to having all these procedures in place. So if something happens, everyone knows what to do. I should have had one for training clients. I should have had one for onboarding, sales, all this kind of stuff. So if someone does ask about something, how do I reschedule a session? Or can I pause my membership? What's the process there? It was only I knew it in my head and the trainers didn't know. So I constantly had to follow up. The trainers always came out to me, especially if they didn't take much initiative. They asked me exactly what to do. And I just didn't really have that written down and in a playbook. So that's definitely something I'll be looking to do in the future. Get these playbooks written and, everything that happens in the gym is following a process, and that's how you set the standard and how you want things delivered that I want to my level of standard that I want. Step-by-step checklist, task list, every single little thing in these little playbooks and these descriptions of how to do it. Just didn't have that. And that would have saved a lot of time. I didn't have basic little things like the client journey. If I need to make sure there's check-ins with clients, goal review sessions, check-ins regularly to see if they've got everything they wanted and seeing results. I just didn't have that in place. I kind of left it up to the trainers to do, just to kind of check in every now and then, but with no guidance from me. I didn't tell them every 3 months, check in with a client and, asking about the goals, how everything's going. I should have done that myself with the clients as one-on-one relationship with me. And then they had their own relationship with the client, so I can really check in. Did they need more support with the nutrition? Did they need more accountability? All this kind of stuff I just didn't do. And, now that I really think about all this, after I've read this book, think about all the tasks that I could have been doing or should be doing, I just realized that none of that was really in place. The basics. Before I started advertising, and that's just another massive thing. I went straight to advertising to bring in clients when the basic principles and standards and processes weren't in place for that. First of all, I didn't really track the length of engagement, the average revenue, and another thing, I didn't track the metrics. My God, seriously, the amount of things I just didn't really do properly, and I just should be doing much better. It's just it's crazy. So. Yeah, I could go on about the things I didn't do and things I needed to do or should do, and I definitely will be taking all that on board for this currently, this new place as well. So lots of lessons learned, just a lot of kind of feedback and looking back on what I have been doing and seeing where it's falling short, and, just ways to improve in the future. So I can just see the basic things I weren't doing. I ran to ads when I didn't have the standards in place, so they're actually in and seeing results, and there's processes for each client, so then just fall off out of nowhere. So yeah, I just thought just what I've been thinking about this morning when I finished that book, which is really good. And yeah, just everything, some things to think about going forwards. Haven't gotten to the point of selling the gym in Canberra yet, so I don't think the offers have fallen through, but there's just there's not really urgency on their part. Whereas I'm trying to get that done as soon as possible. So that's kind of where it's at right now. But yeah, lessons learned. It takes a long time to learn this, and really I think the only way sometimes you can learn something is if you actually experience it for yourself, and you can just see. So I know exactly what to do going forwards, and it's going to be a very interesting time. I've heard comments from people like, oh, why is he buying another gym? What about the one in Canberra? Is not making any money? Why are you buying another gym? And, all that kind of stuff, there might not be belief in me, but I know that I can make this a profitable gym and successful gym, and, I'll just show them in the future with the results. So that's it.